Welcome to those who are watching this as a recording. I'd love for you to comment, share with me where you're coming in from. If you're concerned about bone density, let's geek out together, dive a little bit deeper, and talk about all the things that build our bones. Number one, I am not a doctor. I am not prescribing. I am not telling you what to do. I want you to think of this like we're just hanging out together and having lunch, and we're sharing what's worked. So if you've had something that's worked for you, please leave it in the comment section below. Number one, the filter that you view building bone density from. Mine was broken. So I'll share with you, I was diagnosed with osteoporosis. I no longer have that. My bones are strong. I want to share with you what worked for me. It may or may not work for you. My goal is that you take something away from today that's helpful. If you have something helpful about building bones, leave it in the comment section. This question was asked on my monthly call that I do with my Good Life Journal subscribers. And we've spent about 3 minutes on it, but I wanted to go deeper. So today, let's talk all things building bone. When I put my glasses on, they have a blue light filter, so I don't get headaches because I'm on the computer so much. It filters and changes how I see things. I needed to change my filter on building bones because building bones is not about doing one thing and then taking it, adding it, and then saying, oh, my bones are strong. I was in serious trouble. My bones ached and my bone density scan was not good. It's something that I'm constantly working on and moving forward with, but the same core that rebuilt them is the same core actions that I take now to keep them strong. Number one, change the filter. You won't see results in 2 weeks. You won't see results in 6 weeks. You didn't get there overnight, and so you don't change them overnight. So I needed to take that long view picture of building my bones and know that I needed to continue my actions even though I wasn't getting a direct payoff, that it was working. That one can come up for me a lot. Oh, I don't see the change. I'm not finishing this. Remember, you won't see the change immediately, and it's not something that you can tangibly see. I can't see my bones every day. I can't see what's working. And so testing on a yearly basis has helped me know that what I'm doing is working. Let me get some water. The very first thing is making sure that you are regulated. There's dysregulation and regulation. Not being in fight or flight. You don't heal bones in fight or flight. And that's what I was in since I was a kid. I had, just some things happened that put me into fight or flight, and always making sure where people were and if I was safe. You have to come out of fight or flight into rest or renew. Now, let's see. I am sending a link right now to what I use to keep me out of fight or flight. And it's a vibration plate. I have had so many different vibration plates over the years. I have spent thousands of dollars on them because the studies are conclusive that they help with bone density plus so many other things. I've had plates break on me that I spent $3,000 on 6 months in, or 3 weeks after the warranty. T-zone vibration is my favorite vibration plate I have ever used. And I love the fact that they are a family business that has been around from the beginning of vibration plates, and they still have original employees. which means they're good to the people that are helping them get the word out about vibration plates. I'm excited for this because if you use MAG 25, let's see, I'll put it right here in the comment section. If you use MAG 25, because I love them so much, they gave me a coupon code for you to use. MAG 25 gets you 25% off this vibration plate. It's one of the least inexpensive that I've ever purchased, and the durability on it and the customer service, I've had mine for a while. The customer service is top notch. I've never had problems with it, but I've asked questions, and they're an amazing company. The thing that makes this vibration plate different is the fact the removable pads, they have grooves and patterns on them, and there's a softer one and a harder one, depending on how long you want to be. Sorry, I just got a call that it's the podcast I'm supposed to be on after this, and they just called through my thinking. Okay, let me go back to Shelly will text me if there's a issue on that. The vibration plate pads that go in are grooved, and you can change them. There's a red one and a blue one. You just lift them up, put them in and out. So simple. And it changes the way the vibration hits your bones. They also came with poles. Even though I'd bought a machine that was like $5,000, I didn't ever have poles. And it has these little handles on the side that I can actually do more exercise resistance for my bones. And the poles help you get in different positions. A vibration plate, Laureen, is you stand on it and it vibrates. And the vibration, science and studies show that vibration helps increase bone density. It is a foundational piece of what I do for two reasons. It regulates my nervous system. I can stand on that plate for 10 minutes a day and literally just stand there. I don't have to think of anything. I don't have to do anything. It's very calming to me. I just stand there, and it puts me into rest and renew. So anytime you're on a vibration plate, it switches your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and renew, which has to happen for bone health. And it also creates that vibration that increases bone density. So you're hitting two things. And this, let me go, let's see. This right here on the link that I added will get you 25% off of that vibration plate. So that's a foundational piece, and was a foundational piece of me rebuilding my bone density. The next thing, and you might have heard me talk about this a little bit, and I'm going to pick it up because we've got so much to go through here. The next piece is magnesium. Soaking in magnesium, getting to cell saturation gave my body the magnesium to drive the calcium into my bones. The other thing I did that might surprise you, and remember, I'm not a doctor, you do what works for you. I dropped all calcium synthetically. I do not do synthetic calcium, and I'm very cautious to look at different supplements if they have added calcium. I want whole food calcium that my magnesium levels can drive into my bones. And I eat calcium-rich foods. Let's see, I've got a list here of the calcium-rich foods I wanted to specifically talk about, and that was sesame seeds. I mix sesame seeds in a coarse salt and give it just a little pulse in a coffee grinder, and then I have that whenever I use salt in my cooking or as a finishing salt. It's got that ground up sesame seed in it, and sesame seeds are loaded with whole food calcium. White beans, amazing. White beans are loaded with calcium. Um, the other thing are figs. Now, when I'm in California, I have cream of the crop figs. I haven't found those where I'm living at here in Utah. If you have access to fresh figs, figs are incredible source of calcium. Now, if you don't, a dried fig. And then that way you can get that good quality, but that dried fig is also a good source of calcium. I do a homemade yogurt. And for me, now you might not handle yogurt well. For me, it's a really good fit and absolutely incredible sources of calcium. Okay, so that I stay linear and we focus on all of these things, let's talk about, I've talked a lot about magnesium. So soaking in magnesium self-saturation. Check out my other videos on that. Magnesium drives calcium into the bones. You have to have the calcium. Oh, Andrea, I'm so sad. I'm so excited that you're here. Yay. Hooray. So glad to see you, Andrea. I love you, that fur baby picture I see. Magnesium drives calcium in. So doing my vibration plate, hitting cell saturation, eating calcium-rich foods to drive the calcium into my bones. We've got to talk about sugar. And there are times I'm completely sugar-free, and there are other times that I am not. I'm not saying you can never eat sugar again. I am saying sugar robs your body of everything you need to build those strong bones. So if you are wanting big changes in your bones, you've got to look at your sugar intake. And that doesn't just mean table sugar, that also means your carb level. And looking at, am I eating the proper amount of carbs for my body, that there's not excess that's just turning into sugar, that I'm utilizing them with the amount of movement and exercise that I'm doing. Oh, okay. Now let's jump to, okay. Won't stop. We are stopping. And that is that, we have to talk about exercise. I rebound, I walk, and I do Pilates. And those three things are exercises and weightlifting. Those things are things that have all got clinical studies that show they increase bone health. And those are all a good fit for me. I can do them from my own home. I don't enjoy going to a gym. If you do, you can do them at the gym. But those are the things that have the best research. The rebounding, walking, weightlifting, Pilates, and the vibration plate I consider part of my exercise because I can do so many things with my T-zone vibration plate. And remember, MAG 25 gets you 25% off of that plate. I haven't been one that's taken a lot of the things that people send me. I just haven't done that. This code to get you 25% off, the T-zone vibration was so gracious to share that with me, and it makes a big difference in the cost of that vibration plate. So eating those foods, exercising, and so it can sound very overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this and I'm not doing that, and you can start beating yourself up. Back up, turn that train around. It's out of your brain. We are adding things as we can and creating habits that stick. You're not going to add all these things at the same time. And it's not that I hit all of these things perfectly. Imperfect action creates bone density. Repeat that with me. If you're somewhere that you can talk, imperfect action creates bone density. Building your bones does take layers, and you just have to, I think the best way is just adding one layer at a time. So if that overwhelm comes up, remind yourself overwhelm is not an emotion, it's a lack of action. Determine right now what action you will take that fits your life, your frame of time that you're in right now, that you can add. don't let overwhelm walk you away. Building bones is a long game, and it's not just one thing. So remember, oh, Andra, that is great. RBC of 5.8. I did a video on taurine. Please check that out. Please check that video on taurine because it can help you really build that 5.8. Okay. Oh, layering recommendations. Amy, I'm so glad that that helped you. People who layer are the people who stick with it and create optimal health, even though they're doing it imperfectly. They don't start everything at once. I do want to talk about the infusions that I did and still do, but not as regularly. When I was in that real focus before I saw results on my bone scan, I did these daily. I do not now. So it's not that you have to continue these daily. And remember, I'm just sharing with you what I learned, not prescribing, not a doctor. Oat straw herbal infusions and horsetail. So those are both have really good clinical studies on the benefits of bone density and what they do for the bones. And the oat straw has calcium, magnesium, and silica. And the horsetail is incredibly high in minerals. You need minerals to remineralize and build strong bones. Now, I was talking herbal infusions the other day with someone, and their understanding of what an herbal infusion was and my understanding in the classes that I've taken were totally different. So I'll explain my understanding of an herbal infusion, and then you can do whatever you do, what's best for you. I took a quarter to a half a cup of the herb. I poured hot water to the correct temperature over the top in a quart jar, about 3/4 full, and I let that sit for 12 to 14 hours before I strained it and drank it. So that's how I did herbal infusions. That's how I was taught. If that means something different to you, awesome. That's just how I did it. And the combination of the two together, so I did a quarter cup of each, is just has a synergy of benefits that I hadn't experienced from anything else. The other thing I want to talk about is protein. Let me grab some more water. Protein. If you're not getting enough protein on a daily basis, imperfectly, remember we don't buy into perfect here at Living the Good Life Naturally. No one does it perfect. And we don't project that other people do it perfect because that's a way we play the victim to walk away from our health. Protein. You need the protein that your body needs. Now, I'm past menopause, and my protein needs went up. And it's made an incredible difference to now be matching on a daily basis my protein needs. I don't count specifically. It's triggering for me, and it makes me get a little psychotic with my food. And so I ballpark it. That's a really good fit for me. I just do a ballpark of my protein, not an exact. Sorry, my bracelets are jingling. Not an exact on my protein count. I just ballpark it. And this is where you have to make it work for you. You might love tracking exactly the exact amount you're getting on your protein. It just isn't a good fit for how my brain works. And so I just ballpark. I have increased my protein by about 20 to 25 grams, and what a difference that has made. So remember, your protein needs will change throughout your life. You've got to determine what's a good protein fit for me right now. Okay, vitamin C. Vitamin C is important in creating strong bones. I do a whole food supplement of acerola cherry powder, and I also make sure I get broccoli in every day. I have a couple foods that I just do every day. One of those is broccoli. Another one's avocado. That's a daily thing for me with broccoli. And it's loaded. I think sometimes we forget to look at greens as high in vitamin C content, but it's a whole food source of vitamin C. And then I also supplement with acerola cherry powder. Let's talk about, oh, on the vibration plate, it's the HE90. HE90. Oh, what difference, Anna, am I seeing with the increased protein? Oh, so many. Um, Better focus, not as tired, not my cravings went away. I pretty much conquered my cravings and then they started coming back. And it was because my body needed more protein in the stage of life that I'm in right now. Um, Better mental stamina at the end of the day. I was just dropping into bed, just like couldn't even remember going to sleep. And I don't like that. And increasing my protein really changed that around. Oh, Amy, this one. Let's talk about this. I am okay. First, I'll get a lot of comments usually when I talk about this one and share my opinion. You do what's best for you. I'm sharing with you my thoughts. You can disagree and we can still be kind to each other. I sporadically use protein powders, but remember, it's a processed protein. It's it's not the same as whole food protein. Do I use them? Yes. Do I use them daily? No. Do I alter which ones I use? Absolutely. Am I very careful about the ones I use? Absolutely. They can be high in heavy metals. And being high in heavy metals walks you away from bone density. I don't want anyone to walk away shaming themselves if they do it differently. That's what works for me. And part of creating health is you determining what works for you. Okay. Let's do this one. How do I take the acerola cherry powder? I just mix it in a drink and water in the morning and take it that way. And we have had such sourcing issues on our acerola cherry powder, and I will not sell what is not optimal. I just won't. I can't. In fact, the desiccated liver is coming back. It landed labeled, and we're just putting it up on the website soon. But we have it in hand finally, and it even has a KB on it to show that has my stamp of approval. Like this is something I will put in my body, and the acerola I used to have, I'm still working on sourcing, is what companies will do is they'll send you a sample that tests really well, but that's not the same quality you get. And I just, I won't sell something inferior. Really excited for the desiccated liver to come back and working on the acerola cherry. So working that still. I will not give up on that acerola cherry to have a source of it that I get to be in charge of the supply chain because I know what I want. And I've learned over the last 20 plus years of sourcing that what they do to change things, how they mask. They put a mask filler in that doesn't show up on the testing, just all sorts of things. And I know their game now, and I will find someone who just will sell me a great source of acerola cherry. Same thing happened with desiccated liver, and I conquered it, and I have it, and it's incredible, and it's about to go live in probably the next 7-ish days on the website, and I'm really excited to have that back. Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome, and it's good to see your beautiful face. Okay, I also want to talk about omega-3s. You need the proper ratio of omega-3s happening in your body. And sometimes we can demonize 6 and 9 that, oh, they're awful. We need 6 and 9. We just need more 3 than 6 or 9. And most of us are walking around with more 6 or 9 than we are 3. And I conquer that 2 ways. I do supplementation with cod liver oil that's high in omegas. And I also do it through cold water fatty fish. And I finally found a way to do sardines, which I wasn't loving, but I have a dressing, a Caesar dressing that I use that in. And so that's a really strong one. Also, you just need to make sure you're getting it lots of ways. And I do that through supplementation and through food. Okay, so let's see here. What else have we got? Oh, a website. Oh, I want to talk zinc. Zinc, zinc is a big topic that we could do a whole little session on, but I just quickly want to talk on nuts and seeds because they have great zinc levels. Pumpkin seeds. I have a bowl of pumpkin seeds at my desk, and I have a bowl of pumpkin seeds at home because pumpkin seeds are such a rich source of magnesium and zinc. And it really depends where you're at on your journey if you need supplementation with zinc and how much you need. Whole foods don't give, remember my philosophy is there's always a downside to synthetic nutrition. Sometimes we do that, recognizing what the downside is, but my first approach is always food. And zinc levels, no matter where yours are at, can handle food levels of zinc, where if you start in the supplementation, you have to be really careful because you can tank other nutrients in your body. Pumpkin seeds are my go-to, a raw pumpkin seed. And I have them out. I put them in different things on top of yogurt. Just eat them just plain. I enjoy them, chewing on them and chewing them really, really well. Sometimes we can chew 4 times and then swallow, and we want a pumpkin mush, pumpkin seed mush in your mouth. But those are loaded with good nutrients to build your bones. We talked, fermented foods. I don't think we covered that one. Just really quickly, we're at the end. I have 1 minute left for this weekly live, and that is fermented foods. Everyone talks about sauerkraut, sauerkraut, sauerkraut. I don't love sauerkraut, and I don't want to just gag something down every day because I typically don't stick with it if it's that to me. I love kimchi. Fermented kimchi has in some ways even more benefits than sauerkraut. Find a food that you love that's fermented because the D and the K in that fermented food is beneficial to building your bones. Now, as we close, I would love to know, we have to do this quickly. I would love to know, what is your takeaway from today? Just really quick, throw it up. What is your takeaway? Because we covered a lot of things in the 30 minutes that we've been together, and we're at 30 minutes. So share with me your takeaway. That one takeaway can be your action piece, to building stronger bones, because you don't start out with all of these things. You layer them, you build that foundation strong. Sandy, regulation. Sandy, if you don't have a vibration plate, go check out, I put it in the comment section. Check out T-zone vibration. The vibration plate that I think is best is the let me look here. I wrote it down so I'd have it for you. HE90. I'll put it in the comment section. HE-90. Oops, that work? Oh, that worked. It's the HE90 with the removable pads and the poles and the stretchy bands. Best vibration plate I've ever used, and one of the cheapest that I've ever purchased. And if you use MAG 25, you get 25% off. Anyway, that makes me really happy. I have people send me stuff that I would never talk about, and never say, oh, this is. Anyway, and so when they shared that with me, as a family business, they reached out and said, we love working with other family businesses and would love to share this with you. And I already loved their plate. It was just like dreams come true. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Oh, Andra. Okay, you have a lot to learn. I want to share, oh gosh, I want to share one thing really fast, and I've got to get off to get on a podcast. Don't get stuck in the learning phase. That's a way that we stay dysregulated. And that's why you'll hear me say, Andra, take action on something. You don't have to, I don't know everything about bones. Not even, not even. But I've added layers as I've learned one at a time, built a habit, and I have strong bones. And so I just caution, if you love learning, if you love researching, that can keep you dysregulated. I didn't realize that during my journey, and it held me back years from creating. And so that's why I always not always, but most of the time I remember to say, what's your action piece? Don't get stuck in learning phase. That keeps you dysregulated. Dysregulated body equals lower bone density. And my daughter wanted me to throw out, there is a study that shows, she loves her cat. There is a study that shows the purring of a cat, the vibration on your body, actually tiny bit boosts bone density, that vibration just happening naturally from the purring of a cat. And so anytime she's got her cat on her shoulder, she's like, building bones, mom, building bones. So if you've got a cat, go thank them, put them on your body, get them to purr, and you've got some bone density being built right there. Have the best day. Bye-bye.